Hello, dear ones. Father Peter John coming to you from All Saints Orthodox Church in Bloomington, Indiana. Christ is in our midst. I'm talking today about Saint Pantaleon, the great healer and martyr of the Church. Saint Pantaleon was not only one who loved the poor and the needy and cared for them, he is also perhaps chief among the holy unmercenary saints, an unmercenary healer, being one who heals and doesn't charge money for it. But Saint Pantaleon, he was born in Nicomedia around the year 275. He grew up in a home with a Christian mother and a pagan father. He knew something about the Christian faith, but didn't have a whole lot of education in it simply because of his circumstances. He went to medical school after finishing his primary education, and he became a very good medical student. Actually, he caught the eye of the emperor Maximian, who desired to have Pantaleon as a court physician after finishing medical school. Well, Saint Pantaleon was out kind of doing rounds, visiting people, continuing to learn the medical arts. He was very good at what he did. And one day he came across a certain priest, Hermolus, who later became the hieromartyr Hermolus. And he learned from Saint Hermolus on this first encounter something of Christ that caught his eye, it caught his heart, it captured his interest. And so he went and visited Saint Hermolus for catechism, for instruction in the faith, every day after that. Well, one day, as he was walking in the road, he saw a boy who had been bitten by a snake and was lying dead. And so he prayed to God, "Lord, if you will heal this child, if you will raise him up, I will devote my life to service to you and to your church." Well, at that, the boy got up and was healed. So St. Pantaleon went to Hermolus and desired baptism. St. Hermolus baptized him and gave him the name Pantaleon. His name in his childhood had been Pantaleon, which means a lion in all things. Very strong and manly name, but Pantaleon means all merciful. So that was his name from the date of his baptism. Well, St. Pantaleon went around continuing to heal people, but really focusing now on healing people, not just with the medical knowledge that he had, but by invoking the name of Christ, the beloved physician of our souls and bodies. And so this is what he did. He went around and he healed a blind man. He would go to the prisons and would visit the prisoners, and he would heal the prisoners there. Most of them were Christians who had been arrested and beaten for their faith in Christ. Well, word got back to the Emperor Maximian, because that's what happens when there is someone out there who's healing for free. Then other physicians begin to lose their business. They got jealous, and so they basically turned him in. And they told the emperor, there's a Christian out there healing in the name of Christ. So the emperor called him in, and Pantaleon admitted, yes, I am a Christian, as a matter of fact. And this enraged the emperor, and the emperor, of course, was very, very angry and wanted him to renounce his faith in Christ. But St. Pantaleon said, listen, call your best physicians and me and bring in someone who's ill, and let's see whose gods will listen. The God of the Christians or the pagan gods of your court physicians. So the duel was set. The paralytic was brought in. The court physicians were brought in, and St. Pantaleon was there. The court physicians couldn't do anything. They invoked the name of their gods and all the medical arts that they knew, but nothing happened. But when St. Pantaleon called on the name of Christ for this paralytic to rise up, he stood up and was healed, which enraged the Emperor Maximian all the more, of course. The emperor killed the man, the paralytic who had been healed, and then ordered St. Pantaleon to be tortured and ultimately beheaded for his faith in Christ. This great martyr Pantaleon is celebrated July 27th, and we ask and invoke his prayers for us. Holy St. Pantaleon, pray unto God for us that all of our ills may be healed, spiritual and physical ills. Christ is in our midst. He is and ever shall be.